Orange carpet costume design. Today we are doing accessories from top to toe. So how can we enjoy the delights of the Halloween season during a pandemic? We have some ideas for you today, some things to go with your costume to help it just pop and go over the top. So here are some ideas that you can use, things that you just have around your house to put together a costume. And we're going to start with the top of our head, and I just have some chenille stems here. These are just ones that I had left over that I have assembled, just a circle here and then a crown to go over the top. If you use other colors, again, these are just leftover ones, you can actually make this so it doesn't show up and you can put your hair over it. And this one's obviously a little big for me, so when that happens you can always twist in the back so that it fits your head properly. And I gave myself some ears here. Obviously you can put anything on this that you would care to put to make it your costume hat. Then we're going to look at some accessories in the way of jewelry. And if you have some just tape rolls here, you can make some really awesome jewelry with it. And you know, these could be Wonder Woman bracelets. They can go with royalty. It could be anything that you would like them to be. So I have also started one that I'm doing here. This one is going to look somewhat like this, and the way that you do it is you can just glue some old yarn. I just have yarn scraps here on it in whatever pattern you would choose. And then you just want to take your foil, and if you want it to be a little bit wider than your bracelet, and you're going to wrap it around here. And again, this does not need to be really good quality foil. Just whatever the store brand is, generic, works just fine for this. So you want to wrap it, and then you're going to tuck it under all the way around. Even folding foil sounds kind of Halloweenish. And you can then use some clear tape to tape on the inside just to be sure that it doesn't decide to mess up. And then you want to find those sections and press down around them so you can see where the designs are all the way around. And now you have designs on your bracelet. And then you can add to it by coloring it with Sharpies. I think Sharpies and foil just make a really beautiful look together. And then you can also, if you have some of the gems, you can put those on there too. So that is one way that you can make a bracelet with a tape roll. Here's another one with the thinner tape rolls. This one is simply paper and Sharpies and then some of the gems on there. So this way, if you have specific colors you want to use, maybe you're completing a superhero costume, you can do something like that. This one is done with decorative tape, craft tape. So the tape is just all the way around. I think that one looks really cool too. But we don't want to just stop with our bracelet. We also want to make ourselves some neck wear. So this one is real popular with children because they get to use their muscles and squeeze the foil really tightly, and that makes this work even better. So we're going to do a necklace. It could also be a belt out of just aluminum foil. It's okay. Sometimes we got to sneeze. So what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze it so that you have a length of it here. And then you're going to squeeze it even more. Really nice and tight. Once you have it as thin and as tight as you can manage, then you're going to roll it into a circle like this and cross over this way, so that you're making an X at the top. then one side twists around one way and the other side twists around the other way, and you have the beginning of your chain. Then you want to do another one. And I just love the engineering thinking that has to go into this fairly simple activity. So we're working our brains as well as our fine motors here. And this time, we're going to send this one through the other one like an arrow through a target like this before we bend it around, do the X at the top, and twist it. And the more strength you can give to squeezing this together, the better your chain is going to stay together. And then you're just going to keep adding to this until you have a chain that's long enough to go around your neck. Once we get this idea down, we can start mixing it up a little bit with it. So here's some fun that folks have had doing these before. All right, so this one was just basically what we did. This one, you can see they did smaller rings and then larger rings, and they did that by doing a shorter length of foil and a longer length of foil and alternating it. So we're developing some skills here with patterning. And then this one, I really love this one. This one, once they had taken they had twisted it. We twisted it to make figure eights like this, and did a series of figure eights. I'm gonna do this one so that I can put this one on too. Because I mean, you just can't have too much jewelry for Halloween. And this is so much fun to do. You can, if you want to, you can turn it into a belt. If you're going to do a belt, then you want to put it on before you put that last one on. And while you have it on, finish up with the last piece that goes through it. And then, of course, you're going to have to disassemble it just a little bit before you take it off.
You can, even if you are doing a Frankenstein type monster or something like that, you could make you a chain that the monster has around him.
Oh, that's really true. Yeah, there's lots of ways that you could use a chain, and it's so inexpensive and so much fun to make. So here we have done some jewelry and we have done some hat wear, and we're going to wrap it up by going all the way down to our toes. And these are some of the cutest little shoes I have ever seen. These are our daughter's baby shoes, and we put wings on them, as you can see. And this is something that you can do by making duct tape fabric. And to make duct tape fabric, you lay out the duct tape, and then you lay another piece on top of it, and then you cut it so you have a section that is big enough for the wings that you're going to put on your shoes. Then I made a pattern here, and you can do the wings differently. We had 3 different patterns that we offered when we did this for our Gifted to Give program. So you want to do that, and you're going to cut it out on both sides, and then use your hole punch. After you've marked it, use your hole punch to punch the holes in it. And we actually had some rivets that we added in here and to bling it up a little bit more. And also we did some different colors of duct tape on here to make it more interesting. I also have mine on so you can see. Big people shoes.
I can't quite see it. There you go.
Just like that. Then one more thing I wanted to show you is we had shown you how to make this Regent cap from an old milk carton or a water carton, the gallon size that's made out of plastic. And then if you wanted to go with the royal, you can also make a cape I'm going to show you the whole thing here in just a minute. So I wanted to show you how to make the cape, but obviously this would make a cape for a doll. But I wanted you to see how to do the pattern. So you want to just use a table cover, works really great for this, just some plastic table cover. Then you want to make yourself a pattern that's going to be big enough for whoever is wearing this. Fold it in half, and then on the fold line, you're going to cut out half a circle here, and then down the side, and this can be whatever length you want it to be. If you want it to be really long and dragging on the ground, just make it that length. If you want it to be short to the hips, you can make it that way. Just measure who is going to be wearing the costume. Go from there. Cut it out. Obviously, do not cut here, but when you open it, then you want to cut this section right here, and I'm going to show you why. So if you need a little more clarification on how to make this pattern, just let us know, and I can show you how to do that. So this is my end result from having made this pattern. I made myself a King George robe to go with my King George hat. The part that I cut here, where the circle is, I then added, what is the name we're supposed to call it instead of what we usually call it, which I will not say. Hook and eye something. Yeah, this stuff, everyone knows what it is. We're not supposed to call it that. This one looks like it's kind of wanting to come apart, so I'm going to take a little tape and do surgery here real quick. Here it is. And if you're going to do a superhero, you can, with Sharpie, you can draw the superhero logo on the back, or if you have some white contact paper, you can always draw on there and then use the contact, draw it onto the contact paper and then add it, put the contact paper on there. Let me just a second to fix that. All right, there. However you want to do it, just so that it comes off easily, because we don't want anybody getting choked by their costume. And because I was doing King George, then I did what I did on the hat here with cotton balls, and I had punched out black paper circles and glued those on using craft glue, excuse me, and so that looks like ermine. So I'm going to put on my I did it all the way down to the bottom. Of course, I could have done it much longer had I chosen to do so. Now all I need is a scepter, and I'm ready to go. Oh yes, I need my crown. All right, so that is all of our ideas for costume design. If you want to know how to make this hat, we did that 2 weeks ago, so you can look at the Facebook Live from back then, and then you have a whole costume, and we would love to see it. And speaking of that, on Saturday, which is Halloween, we have our orange carpet costume walk, and you can do so virtually. We are going to be sending out the link, the Zoom link, to everyone on our email list, including the password with that, so that anytime between 5 and 9, you can get on, you can download the orange carpet background that we have provided, and then you can Zoom in with us, and we will see you on the orange carpet, which we would love, because we want to see as many costumes as possible. That's part of the joy of the season. So we hope you do join us sometime on Halloween. And if you are not on our email list, you can go to our website, www.aspaciousplace.com, and sign up for our e-newsletter, and that will put you on the list, and we will send you that information. So if you have enjoyed this, we hope you will like it on Facebook. You can also rewatch on YouTube or on Facebook or on our website, www.aspaciousplace.com. And also we wanted to let you know that upcoming is our Gifted to Give gift-making event, which we're doing virtually this year as well, and beginning to deliver supplies next week. We have 6 projects that you can make, and that for a total of $10 for all 6 of them. And that too is on our website. You can find out more information about that. It's a great way to remember that we are all connected, even though we are needing to spend more time apart during this time, and also to do something delightful and generous for others. So this is Dr. KP McKee, founder and executive director of the Spacious Place Creativity and Spirituality Center. And let's close out today with a prayer. Thank you, God, for the delights of creativity and of generosity and of community. Just help us find creative ways that we can be generous and we can be community members in a time that's unlike any other we've experienced in our lifetime. Amen.